everyone. Welcome to Talk to Us today. I'm Simrit.
And I'm Namita. And I want you all to switch everything off and watch today's episode very closely. Because on today's episode, we are discussing something very special and important. In today's modern societies, as an adult, how can we live and take care of our aging parents and grandparents? Many people find it extremely difficult to understand how, even as adults, most Indians live with their parents and grandparents and in the large joint families. And then they marry and they don't shift away. So, yes, that is something very, very different from the other cultures, in different parts of the world. And the truth is, in urban India, many couples do prefer to move out and become independent. But as time goes on and the responsibility of taking care of our parents still falls on us. And that's why we are here to discuss this important topic, how to take care of our parents and grandparents.
Yeah. So India has a wonderful history, as most people know, of like strong, rich joint family bonds, right?
Yeah.
And much of this stems from our large joint family. So, like, even if we're not close to our cousins, our parents will ensure, no, that's not my cousin. That's my brother. We grew up together. His dad was my dad, and that stems from our joint families.
Right.
Sorry. And although it seems nuclear families are on the rise, the truth is that the rise is really low, and joint families are still a huge part of our setups. And even if we move away, the responsibility of the parents falls on us, even if we're not living with them.
Right.
So, I mean, back in the 80s, I was born in Canada and I lived there. And my parents actually moved back from Canada, though I had an uncle and all, but my parents moved back to take care of my grandparents, my paternal grandparents. And me and my brother always thought that this was the best decision my dad ever made. And we actually reaped the benefits of living with our grandparents.
Same
Yet,
here.
I used to, yeah, right? Like, and you learn so much, and your expansion of your storyline, the connection to your past becomes so strong when you grow up with the grandparents. But I remember as a kid that I used to be jealous of my friends who lived with their cousins, because I was like, oh gosh, this, and I still feel that my son, I mean, he lives with his grandmother and us, but I feel that and being a single child, the joint families are even more important instead of nuclear families.
Yes.
So, and we all know it's a lot of, I mean, as an adult, we realize that it's a lot of hard work to live in joint families. But the biggest beneficiaries of the joint families or the intergenerational, you don't have to live under the same roof, but to be connected with everybody. The biggest beneficiaries are the children, guys.
Yes.
And I think that's what we all need to remember when we talk about this.
Yes, very true, Simran. We know it's a lot of hard work. And I remember my parents taking care of my grandparents and taking care of each and every small need of theirs. The soup has to be like this. The sabji should be like have this much of masala. The dal,
Right.
dal needed to be a little spicy because they wanted spicy. Exact time of the meal and the patience and tolerance my parents had, so admiring. And while growing up and seeing all this felt so normal, you know?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, it did.
And the fun I used to have with my grandma, she telling her life stories, her lessons, her challenges. I learned so much from her. I always felt so proud and happy to be, living with my grandparents. And I guess it was pretty normal when we grew up because I think most of the children were living with their grandparents, in the circle, I
Right.
mean, my friend circle. So yes, it was really normal for me. But now the things have changed a lot. But one thing I can say that the personality of the children is very, scintillating, and it's different. It's so, I would say, it's so mesmerizing. The kids who grow up with their grandparents, around them. And the more important point is they're more understanding, they have, a lot of tolerance, they're sensitive, and they are very expressive too. Because I've
That's
seen
so true.
they discuss so much with their grandparents openly without any hesitation. They're like their friends.
Yeah. So they learn how to live amongst different age groups, right? When
Exactly.
we send them to school, it's to make them more social. And this is a part of being more social, learning how to deal with. I mean, I see my child when he's with his grandmom's friends, or whether he's with kids, he can interact with all of them equally. When kids are from nuclear families, you see them kind of, they could be really confident, but they shy up in front of older
Ah,
people.
yeah.
Makes a big difference. And
Yeah.
I remember, Namita, because growing up with our grandparents, there are now, my grandparents are no more, and it's been many years. But I remember that and my dad has a great memory, and me and him have the fondness for stories and history equally. But I'll tell him, no, 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 like this happened to Dadaji, and this was with Dadi. And he's like, really? I don't remember. Because when you're a grandparent, you spend more time, you invest more time, and you have more time to tell your history to the kids. So, I mean, yeah. So we all agree that there are a lot of benefits. But now the question is, how do we manage to maintain the balance and ensure that everyone is happy and no one feels neglected or pushed around in this scenario?
Yeah.
Because one of the biggest issues we face in intergenerational families is that the seniors become, as they become older, how do we maintain their dignity and quality of life? Because this is really important. And
Absolutely.
as children, this onus falls on us. It's our duty to ensure that they lead a dignified and balanced life. I mean, when I see something, I mean, of course, you and me, and this is a topic for a different time, but when we see that the seniors are not treated well in a family, I really judge the kids on that. I mean, that's how it is. I know we were not supposed to judge, but I do. Because as we get older, we do become more dependent. But if it's possible, try to maintain their independence. Keep them, as independent as possible. So my tip number one would be that try to maintain their independence. It's easy to go pick up the groceries and say, no, 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 okay, we'll take care of everything. But if their health permits, either if the scenario allows, get them a driver and car. But and the driver doesn't have to be there 24/7, a couple of hours a day for a few days a week. And if that's the scenario where you cannot, and everybody's finances and situations and availabilities are different, then ensure that you or one of your family members or your kids, if they're of driving age, which is really important, take one day out of the week, because then it becomes hard, and go and do the chores with the kid. Don't do the chores for them, but with the
Yeah.
seniors, take them out, take them for a haircut, go say, okay, no, let's go get your groceries. Okay. So me and my son, I mean, my mother-in-law is not that old, but she has some issues. So if we have to go to the mall, I'll be like, okay, let's take the wheelchair out. Come on, guys, we're going, and to make sure that they're a part of it. She'll tell me, oh no, just get my clothes for me. No, 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 no. You need to come and pick up the clothes yourself. So make
Yeah.
them as independent as possible, right?
Yeah.
So, and not only will your kids benefit from it, they'll learn that there are certain duties they have to do in their lives. And, the parents obviously will love it. But as long as their health permits, make them as independent, give them the duties. Say, no, this is your responsibility. You have to do it. Don't try to strip them of their responsibilities. That's my
Yes.
rule number.
Yes, definitely. And not do not let them just you know oh no, no, I can't go, I have this pain, that I will not go, just being lazy, just so that they don't have to put some extra effort. We have to make them put some extra effort, to be active and healthy. So yes, we should. I like that. That's wonderful, Simrit. And then, as we said, that biggest beneficiaries of joint family are children, and we both for a fact knows it because our kids live with their grandparents and how much they enjoy their
Absolutely.
company, their warmth. So if your kids are of legal driving age, push them to commit one day a week or twice a month to spend with their grandparents and helping them out with the chores and anything. Take them out shopping or anything. They should spend some time with them. So another important way to help our parents is to make sure, the family time spent together. So that is very, very important. The
Very
whole
important.
vibe
Sure.
is so mesmerizing when kids are interacting with their grandparents and laughing, and we are having good chit chat session or chat session on the table while eating dinner or lunches. So it's such a lovely sight. My daughter and my father-in-law, they play maths riddles all the time. The moment they sit, oh, Dadu, you ask me a question now. Dadu, ask me a maths question. And he asks some questions and then she answers. It's so lovely to see them interacting. And then sometimes he would ask a difficult one. I was like, Papa, it's too high level for her. Let's keep it down. So it's so much fun to see that interaction. So, Dadu, this question is wrong. I don't think so. I can do this. So, yeah. And, grandchildren keep them active. No matter how much aches they have or pains they are on the go for the grandchildren.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
I see the grandparents in the park running after the grandchildren here and there, playing
Right. And
hide
that's
and
the
seek.
best, right?
Yeah,
That's
and
the best.
I know. I mean, yes, you need to move around, and this is how they are moving around. Running
Yeah.
after the grandchildren, taking care of them. They love it. It's just not that they're
Yeah.
forced to do it; they just want to do it. That's how,
In
and that
fact, that's one of the things that I've like. I mean, my mother-in-law can't obviously run out, but I've given her the responsibility of doing my son's, like when he gets ready in the morning and we're seeing, so doing the hair, or if there's a dish that he wants, I'm like, okay. I mean, and she has aches and pains, but I say, no, no, Dadi will make it today. Like, so just
yeah,
kind of giving. It's not that the food needs to be made by her, but it should, kind of giving more responsibility. It's more for the bond that they're going to get from this.
exactly. This helps them. It's kind of self motivation for them, and they're
Yes.
encouraged to keep themselves healthy and active. So I know my parents, they would make sure they go for a regular walk, and everything should be intact, because when they come here and play with my kids, they're on the go. Arya would say, Nani, let's do race with me. And like my mom, literally, I see my mom running with her. She's putting her,
God bless. That's so nice. That's
yeah,
so
and
good.
then they're like, oh, Nani, they say, okay, Nani, you can't walk that, you can't run that much. Let's do a brisk walk, race. So they would
Oh,
walk
so cute.
faster. And this is so
So
amazing.
look what the kids are benefiting from, right? Adjusting
Exactly.
themselves for, like, and that's so important for life.
And they love the whole feeling, no matter how tired they get, but they just love it. And they just want to make sure they're healthy to spend more and more time with their grandchildren and children.
So that was my point number, like my next point, that make sure your parents are getting some form of exercise and movement. And that again is a great way to control aging, to keep them healthy,
Yeah.
to keep them away from doctors as much as possible. Eating habits change with time, obviously, and movement reduces. And this is especially true when health starts to deteriorate a little with age.
Exactly.
But, and you hear, I mean, we all hear our parents, I mean, at least I do, that no, no, you don't know, I have arthritis or my joint pains are there and I have too many aches and pains. But provided the doctor, and most doctors will say, no, be as active as possible. So it's up to us to ensure, like through the grandkids, like you're getting your mom even to run, okay? Like I wouldn't do that, but yeah, like, go take them out, go for a walk, push them around, tell them to stay active, get them to
Yeah.
even if it's not through the grandkids, but make sure get a yoga teacher, try to teach them online how to see yoga.
Yeah,
And because
family yoga time, like all of
yeah,
everybody in the family doing yoga, this. So it's, yeah, definitely.
or give them time, like give them a screen and say, okay, the room is yours to right now. This is your yoga time. So it's a slippery slope if they don't stay active and as they get older,
Yeah.
because it's harder to push your body. And when you give in to the body's needs of just lying around or sitting around, it becomes harder. So my thing is keep the movement going, add protein to their diet. If you can't get it in regular food, there's a lot of supplements
Yes.
out there. Ask your doctor, find out.
Oh, there are
And
studies. Proteins does help in slowing down the aging process.
yeah,
There's
it
a lot of
controls the aging
studies.
for
Or
all of us.
aging gracefully, why
Yeah.
so
I
yes.
mean, the numbers will go up, but you don't have to lose your health with that.
Yes.
So, and make sure that there's more movement. It's a great way to keep the mental health good, you know?
Yes. Mental health. Oh, wonderful, Simran. When mental health is extremely important for all of us. You know, and we do realize that we change with age. Everybody changes. Our parents' nature will change too as they grow older. And we all tend to, become more critical. And it seems like us that, you know, during the discussion or anything that they're criticizing us. I mean, it's easy to lose tempers and become irritable, but we must
Yeah.
realize that just as we develop patience with our kids, we need to develop the same patience with our parents as well. With,
Yeah.
right? Or I would say all the elderly people around, with be parents or grandparents. And if we want to maintain some balance in the family, so it is very, very important. So patience is the key. And remember, they had patience when we were growing up. So when we were younger.
Oh
So
my God, how much, right? How
yeah,
much patience. So today, this is the takeaway. Living in intergenerational families, me and Namita are vouching, is an extremely beautiful and beneficial experience for all of us, and especially our kids. Tomorrow, as age goes on, may everybody have a long life, but when people are gone, we'll remember this time. And you won't remember, oh, thank God they lived away. No, you're going to remember, oh, all the good times you spent together.
yes.
So remember that, but we need to develop and create some rules, some boundaries. Ensure your parents are independent as much as possible and active. Develop some patience always. And always, always, always make time for quality family time.
Yes.
Where you're hanging out, getting into bed together, watching Karorpati, whatever.
Yeah.
Do that. That's really important.
Yes.
You will all benefit from it, and society as a large benefits from each other. So that's all on Talk to Us today, but we look forward to hearing from you all. Please do let us know what you thought of today's episode. Mention your tips about how you create a balance between different generations in your family. Either mention in the comment section below or email us at hello@talktoustoday.com and let your friends know where to find us.
And please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, which is the most important thing of the show. Yes, hitting the button is very important for us.
It is.
Hit the bell icon to stay notified of our new videos every Friday at 6 p.m. Thanks for joining us on Talktus today. Remember to talk about Talktus today.
Talk to us today.
Smiling,
Keep laughing.
keep talking. Have a great week. See you on
Have a great week,
Friday.
guys. Thank you for joining us.